Yeah, hello guys. We are going to discuss the important topic. Today there is a most important, there must be a question from this topic guys. Okay? Yeah, we are going to discuss the major convention on environments and relevant protocols relevant to the convention. There are certain protocols and sustainable development goals, okay, and what are the targets of that goals. Okay, we are going to discuss. There must be a question in each question paper from competitive exam from this topic guys. Don't miss it. Be careful about this topic. Okay, yeah, without this topic there is no question paper at all. Okay, there must be a question, one or two questions from this session, one or two, either that is content or else they can ask you current dynamic portion also, they can ask you the relevant this topic. Okay, yep. Current affairs mostly focus on this topic guys. Okay, yeah, if you understand the current affairs relevant to the environment convention and protocols, you must know the historical events what done. Actually the group of countries together, all over together in this world, what they signed, what they agreement, okay, about the things happened. So the historical events must be there, you know, in your mind guys. Okay, if you want to understand the current relevant issues about environment, you must know the historical situations like conventions and protocols. We have to discuss today such like conventions. Okay, yep. Before that we are going to discuss the major event done in the history, that is 1992, the place Rio. There is a Brazil, the city of Brazil, the capital of Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. This is the word, French word, okay, because of it is the country Brazil ruled by French people. Okay, Rio de Janeiro. So we can call it as the Earth Summit, Rio Earth Summit. Okay, yeah, Rio Earth Summit took place, the year is 1992, the year 1992, Rio Earth Summit guys. Okay, yes. Yeah, Rio Earth Summit took place in 1992, where Brazil, Rio mean Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Okay, yeah, what this diagram says, okay, this is the earth, there is a growing tree, we have to protect our earth, for future generations. Okay, yeah, that is about sustainability. Okay, yes. So officially it is the Earth Summit, we can call officially UNCED, United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, the conference on United Nations. Okay, yeah, it is dated about 1992. They don't ask you the exact date, of course. Okay, the participant countries about 172 countries. Okay, yeah, and it is actually intergovernmental panel. They decided about Earth Summit, the group of developed countries almost there. Okay, the objective of Earth Summit, is what? Okay, to reconcile the economic development. This is a different, not economic growth, it is about economic development. Okay, yeah, with environmental protection and sustainable development, economic development and sustainable development. Sustainable development. These are the main focused areas of Earth Summit. These are the main focus on Earth Summit. Earth Summit took place in 1992 on Rio de Janeiro, where the Brazil. What the objective of this Earth Summit mean? Economic development is 1, sustainable development is 2. Okay, just think it. Sustainable development mean we have to protect our environment for the future generations. At the same time, we need economic development. Okay, yeah. Just look into here. Earth Summit. Earth Summit 1992. The objectives are what? Objectives are what? First object is economic development. And the second one is sustainable development. Okay, what is economic development? Economic development nothing but there is a development of health, education, okay, elimination of poverty, all over the development of sustainable goals. How sustainable goals mean? Sustainable development goals mean that is the goals, this is sustainability, the goals that should be environmental friendly. Okay, we have to protect our environment. For future generations. Okay, this is about the main objective of Earth Summit. Okay, yeah. What is Earth Summit? We are going to discuss. What is Earth Summit? What are the protocols and conventions? What are the protocols and conventions? We are going to discuss about the protocols and conventions in the Earth Summit. Okay? Yep. Okay? Yeah. What is Earth Summit? This is Earth Summit. (1992). Okay, 1992 Earth Summit. Where? Rio Janeiro. Where? Rio Earth Summit. 1992. Rio Earth Summit 1992. Rio Earth Summit 1992. What are the conventions and protocols relevant to the Rio Earth Summit? Major three conventions took place Rio Earth Summit. What are they? Just look into this. UNFCCC, UNFCCC, UNFCCC. This is one. This is one. This is one. And second one is CBD. CBD. This is second one. CBD is the second one. Okay. Third one is Agenda 21. Agenda 21 is third one. Agenda 21 is third one. Okay. These three are the real Earth summits, guys. Real Earth Summit, the conventions. Conventions are these three. Okay. Yeah, these three conventions originate from Rio Earth Summit. And what is convention? What is convention? Convention is the definition is what? Okay. What is convention? Convention is a written agreement. Convention is what? It is actually generally accepted principle, formal, okay, it is a formal agreement, formal written document okay, from a group of countries, like group of clients or countries okay, yeah, group of countries made generally accepted principles, These group of countries are intergovernmental panel. Intergovernmental panel. Intergovernmental panel. This, okay? Yep. What is protocol? Convention. Okay. Protocol is delivered from the convention. Protocol is origin from convention. It is the agreement. It is a document the group of countries to agreed the agenda made in the convention. In the convention. Okay, I hope you guys understand this. What is the difference between convention and protocol? Convention nothing but it is the group of people, the group of countries together to form, to give a document that is generally accepted principles, from the convention. That is the acceptance principle that should be a formally they can bind to the convention, mean the written document they agreed the signed document which is targeted in the convention, that is protocol. Protocol is origin from the convention. UNFCCC is the convention. Under UNFCCC there is a protocol. Under UNFCCC there is a protocol called Kyoto Protocol. Kyoto Protocol is for the climate change. The object is climate change. Okay, yeah. Convention is UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. I am going to write it, United Nations Framework. Okay, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. That is framework Convention on Climate Change is the UNFCCC, which is origin from the Rio Earth Summit 1992. Based on UNFCCC, there is a Kyoto Protocol 1997. Okay, 1997 there is a protocol agreed in the UNFCCC. Under UNFCCC there is a protocol is Kyoto Protocol on Climate Change. It's over, right? We are going to discuss detailed discussion. CBD is the convention. Convention on Biological Diversity. Convention on Biological Diversity. This is the convention. In the CBD, there is a protocols. Okay. There are two protocols, guys. There are two protocols in the CBD. That is Cartagena Protocol . Cartagena Protocol, okay, and Nagoya Protocol. Cartagena Protocol, Nagoya Protocol based on biodiversity. Because of it is the Convention on Biological Diversity. These two protocols comes under biological diversity, CBD. This is Cartagena Protocol and Nagoya Protocol. Okay, this is two about biological diversity. We are going to discuss about each. Okay, for detailed manner. If come to the Agenda 21, it is about agenda of 21st century. It is about agenda of 21st 21st century. That is mainly sustainable development goals, 17 sustainable development goals. Sustainable Development Goals, Agenda 21, the targets of the 21st century. Okay, the Sustainable Development Goals 17. We are going to discuss these 3 conventions and 3 protocols and Sustainable Development Goals today class. Okay, yes, with the current affairs. Okay, we are going to discuss all over. I hope you guys understand this. Okay, then only we have to start. The things. Just take a screenshot. Earth Summit. Earth Summit is the historical event where the conventions and protocols produced from here. Okay, they are originated from the here Earth Summit, guys. Okay, so we are going to discuss now. Okay, Earth Summit. All over the 172 countries, 1992, they delivered a summit, Earth Summit. Okay, yep. Yeah, Earth Summit objective economic development and sustainable development. Okay, this is about Earth Summit overall view. Yeah, we are going to discuss Agenda 21 first. Okay, later on CBD and UNFCCC also we are going to discuss. Agenda 21, it is a comprehensive action plan for the sustainable development global goals. Okay, sustainable development goals. It is national and local levels also. It is global, national and local level. Okay, it is Agenda 21, not only global agenda. From the global to local, okay, decentralized, the development decentralized. It is covers poverty. Poverty is the main agenda in sustainable development goals 17. Health is the main area where epidemic diseases took place. Education is the most important for the economic development. Deforestation is sustainable use of environment. Okay, biodiversity, we have to save our protection species. Climate change, we have to protect the environment. And pollution, we have to reduce and mitigate the situations, industrializations. Technology, we have to use the technology, adapt the technology. Okay, technology transform. These are the Agenda 21 main chapters, guys. Main chapters we have to focus the Agenda 21. Based on these there are 17 goals they accepted. Okay, they principally targeted 70 goals up to 2015 to 2030. Target is 15 years of agenda. 15 years of agenda. Okay, Rio Declaration on Environmental Development, that is 27 principles acceptable in the Agenda 21. Okay, yeah, this is important, guys. This is important. They did ask many exams. This is what Agenda 21. The aim of Agenda 21, common but differentiate responsibilities. Common but differentiate responsibilities. What is that? Think it. Okay, we are going to discuss. CBDR, common but differentiate responsibilities. Developed nations bear the greater responsibility. Understood? Common for differentiate responsibilities. Mean the goal is common for all. The goals, 17 goals common for all. But responsibility is different for the different nations. Because of African nations how they target fulfill up to the 2030 because of there is a huge hunger, there is no industrial development. Okay, so African countries they not releasing the environment pollution gases, or they are not the reason for the global warming. Mostly reason for the global warming is industrialization countries. Almost developed countries are the reason for this climate change, everything. Because of that, they have to take more responsibility. So there is a differentiation between the nations for the responsible. Goals are common for everyone. Responsibility is different for the different countries. There is a huge responsibility for the developed countries, moderate is the developing countries, and least priority for the underdeveloped countries. Okay? Yep. This is the common agenda of the Agenda 21. This is the common agenda for Agenda 21. They did ask in the previous year exams, guys. It is actually, there is a principle, precautionary principles, right development, intergeneral equity. Okay? Yeah. United Nations Framework for Convention on Climate Change and Convention on Biological Diversity is the main agenda. Okay? Relevant to the sustainable development. Okay? Yes. Okay? Yeah. First, UNFCCC 1992 from the Rio Earth Summit. From the Rio Earth Summit, it is origin. What is aim of the UNFCCC? Briefly, it is stabilize greenhouse gases. Stabilize greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases are the gases reason for the global warming, like CO2, methane, okay, nitrous oxide. Okay, yep. And it is a concentration at safe levels we have to produce, safe levels. Framework for future negotiations led by Kyoto Protocol 1997. Okay, yeah. From the UNFCCC, there is a protocol, is Kyoto Protocol for the emission of greenhouse gases, CFCs, mainly CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons, mainly CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons. Up to 2015, from the 1997, to 2015, there is a Kyoto Protocol. Kyoto Protocol. Okay. After 2015, it is turned into the Paris Agreement. Paris Agreement. Mean there is a 2015 Paris Agreement take a responsible for the global warming gases. Okay, UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, especially greenhouse gases, Ozone depletion is different, that is the convention is different. Don't confuse, ozone depletion is the Vienna Convention and Montreal Protocol, that is different. But greenhouse gases, which is also relevant to the environment, that is about UNFCCC. There is a protocol, Kyoto Protocol, which is origin from the UNFCCC in 1997, take responsibility to lead the reduce the greenhouse gases emissions, mainly CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons, up to 2015. After 2015, there is a take responsibility another protocol, which is Paris Agreement, Paris Agreement says not about greenhouse gases, there is a global warming should be below 1.5, the heat below 1.5 degrees centigrade global temperature. Okay, this is about Paris Agreement. Okay, yes. Next convention in the Earth Rio, next convention is focus on conservation of biological diversity, sustainable use and fair sharing of genetic resources. Of course, not only environment, we have to protect our species also. Species are the major key role in the ecosystem. Okay, if we disturb the ecosystem, there is no human existence in the life, like in the earth, right? Yeah, on the earth. Okay, yeah, it is about CBD is one protocol is Cartagena Protocol and one protocol is Nagoya Protocol. Cartagena Protocol is biosafety and GMO modification, genetically modified organisms. Cartagena Protocol is about genetically modified organisms, and Nagoya Protocol is about access to genetical resources and benefit it sharing. Access to the genetical resources and benefit it sharing. We are going to discuss detail. Okay? Yeah, we are going to discuss this detail. Yep. First convention, detailed discussion, guys, don't miss. If you listen this enough, no need to read any book. Okay? Yeah, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. It is about climate change, right? Keyword is here climate change. Keyword is here climate change. Climate change took place by the gases, right? Gases. That is either greenhouse gases. It is about global warming. Global warming. Okay? Yeah. So, this is the convention about climate change, greenhouse gases and global warming. It is about adopted 1992 Rio Earth Summit, obviously we know, and this is enter into the 1994, they don't ask you. Headquarter they might ask you sometimes, Bonn Convention, Bonn, it is in the Germany, and they don't ask you, this is legally binding international treaty. Objective they can ask you, objective they can ask you to stabilize greenhouse gases, to stabilize greenhouse gases. This is keyword for the exam, to stabilize greenhouse gases. This is keyword for the exam. Okay, UNFCCC, first you have to remember this gases, it is about climate change gases. Second, global warming. Third is it legally binding treaty. 4, this is about stabilize the greenhouse gases. Okay, these 4 words you have to, these 4 concepts you have to remember enough for the UNFCCC, United Nations Framework on Convention on Climate Change. Of course, okay, you done right? Yeah. UNFCCC, under UNFCCC there is a protocol, we discussed, that is Kyoto Protocol, that is Kyoto Protocol. Kyoto means the place of Japan, the place of Japan. Why it is the Japan? Is there any reason? Guys, if any greenhouse gases increases, there is a global warming increase, global warming increase. If the global warming increase, there is a high temperature took place in the earth's surface. If the earth's surface increase the temperature, ice is melt. In the polar region, ice is melt. If the ice is melt, there is a sea level increase, sea level increase. If the sea level increase, the coastal countries mostly hide. The coastal countries are emerged. There is a alarming situation for the coastal countries. Like in our India, there is a cities Mumbai, Chennai, like that. If countries come to the countries Indonesia, Japan, Java, okay, Taiwan, these countries are going to be disappear in future if the global warming increase. So it is the protocol took place in the Japan, Kyoto Protocol about global warming. Okay, yeah, it is the legally binding targets. I told you the protocol is legally bind targets. Legally binding targets mean the signed agreement. Signed agreement. Okay. Protocol is signed, the document signed agreement for the targets, that is protocol. Convention is the generally accepted principles only. This is the protocol is targeted agreement. Okay. Yes. And there is about greenhouse gases emission. Just you have to remember, if the Kyoto Protocol, that is relevant to the greenhouse gases emissions. They might ask you, instead of greenhouse gases, they might ask you CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons. Okay, they might ask you instead of GHC, CFCs. Okay, yep, that is comes under Kyoto Protocol. Okay, it is about 2008 to 2012 at first section. Second is the agenda 2013 to 20. They might not ask you, they can ask you the year where took place and signed agreement, and there is a target of greenhouse gases third. Okay, yeah, this is important. Two mechanisms they introduced in the Kyoto Protocol, most important, they did ask many times in the exams. So this is clean development program, clean development mechanism and joint implementation. These two mechanisms introduced in the Kyoto Protocol, most important fourth point. International emission trading, and actually guys, USA did not agree this Kyoto Protocol, they did not follow. They release more emissions, USA and China. These countries, they want like increase their industrialization irrespective of climate change. Okay, that leads to this Kyoto Protocol is they might actually affect, they did affect actually Kyoto Protocol. They did affect Kyoto Protocol because of USA did not follow this agreement. Mean they release more greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Okay, I hope you guys understand the Kyoto Protocol is what. Kyoto Protocol is main target greenhouse gas emissions, that especially CFCs, that greenhouse gases, CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, main target of Kyoto Protocol. Okay, yes, I hope you guys understand this. Okay, yeah. Next, Paris Agreement. After Kyoto Protocol from 2015, there is a lead position, there is another agreement, that is Paris Agreement. Okay, it is Conference of Party 21. Yeah, actually I made a video about Conference of Parties, all Conference of Parties. Okay, just watch it in my playlist. Okay, yes, Conference of Parties 21, that is took place in Paris, that is Kyoto Protocol changed. It is an international treaty under UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Okay, yeah, that is main aim well below the 2 centigrade, the global warming, the heat temperature below the 2 centigrade, and or else preferably it is about 1.5 only. Okay, for the pre-industrial level, mean 1860 pre-industrial like area, which is like there is a starting of industrialization in the Europe 1860 guys. Okay, before 1860, what are the levels, what are the like pollution levels or heat temperature, like how much degree is there? Below 1.5 degree. Pre-industrialization levels, we have to reduce up to that. Okay, that is about the nationally determined contributions, NDCs. This is important. Nationally determined contributions, NDCs, voluntary climate action that should be plans in every nation. Okay, every nation has to be responsible irrespective of their industrialization levels. Okay, yep. And global stacks, okay, take, it is about 5 years. First done in 2023, where COP28. Okay, it is provide $100 billion actually. This is important. Okay, this is important. Paris Agreement collect how much money for the climate change? How much money? $100 billion. Okay, all countries are contributed for $100 billion for climate action guys, for climate actions. Okay, this is about Paris Agreement. We did complete UNFCCC conventions are Kyoto Protocol and Paris Agreement we did complete. Okay, yes. And next, India role in the UNFCCC. India role. What India actions took place in the UNFCCC from 1992? Okay, yeah. India ratified Kyoto Protocol in 2002. Actually, Kyoto Protocol is started in 1997. India ratified mean India signed in that agreement in 2002. Okay, yeah. Where Paris Agreement also actually India played major role in the Paris Agreement. Actually, India restricted the developed countries' emissions. Okay, India actually their voice in the Paris Agreement took place by the side of the least developed countries and developing countries. Okay, yes. And it is reduced emissions. India took place. It is reduced intensity of GDP 30 emissions. Okay, 30 to 35% that should be reduced. Okay, Indian emissions. Okay, in that this is important. In that electricity pollution 40% capability from non-fuel sources by 2030 achieved in 2021. Net zero target by 2070. Electricity pollution, actually electricity that should be 40%. 40% should be decreased by 2030. By 2030 that should be decreased 40% electrical pollution, and that should be net zero pollution by 2070. Most important guys, 2070 net zero. They can ask you India targeted net zero emissions by which year? By which year? They can ask you in the exam 2070 guys. They can ask you 2030, 2040, 2050, 2070. 2070 is the year India targeted for net zero emission, net zero. Okay, net zero emissions. Okay, yes. That's why India like launched the EV vehicles. Okay, solar system. Okay, such solar system is good because of that can be from natural resources by sunlight, but electrical vehicle not up to the mark. Okay, yes, because of that is also one of the pollution. Yeah, initiatives. International Solar Alliance. Who initiated? 2015. India. International Solar Alliance drafted by India in the Paris Agreement. This is the most important. This is the most important. ISA is like started by India guys. This is the most important for coming exam. ISA, International Solar Alliance, is the agreement which is taken by India in 2015 Paris Agreement. Okay, yep. Mission Life. This is also important guys. What is life? What is life? Who targeted it? Most important. They can ask you lifestyle for environment 2021. What is life? Lifestyle for environment. Also India took place in the Paris Agreement. Paris Agreement India took place, that is ISA, International Solar Alliance. Okay, yeah, and life also India introduced for the environment, that is lifestyle for environment in 2021. National Action Plan on Climate Change, NAP 2008, also India. Okay, 8 missions also took place. India 8 missions, solar energy efficiency, sustainable use. Okay, 8 missions also India took place. Okay, yes, this is India role. Okay, current events about Kyoto Protocol. Current event about Kyoto Protocol. Okay, yes. Current event COP21 in 2023 UAE. Focus on fossil fuels transition into the renewable. COP29, this is important, recent, done in Baku, Azerbaijan. Baku, Azerbaijan, COP COP 29, Baku, Azerbaijan, most important for the climate change. Expected focus on climate finance for the negotiations. Okay, yeah. Loss and damage fund also operationalized. India Renewable also world largest solar park in Gujarat. This is important. World largest solar park is there in the Gujarat. Which state? They can ask you. World largest solar plant is which state? Solar park in Gujarat. Okay, yeah. UN report world is off track. Global warming is already 1.2 above pre-industrial level. This is about India's achievement. This is about dynamic part, current event. Okay, yes. Take a screenshot, guys, most important. You no need to go anywhere for this lesson. Just take a screenshot and read it enough. Okay, yeah. Yeah, quick revision again. UNFCCC adapted 1992 Earth Summit Rio. Okay, it is like Convention on Biological Diversity also there. COP 26 Glasgow, 27 Egypt, 28 UAE, India's target net zero by 2070, COP 29 Baku, Azerbaijan. This is important. This is important for coming exam. These two are the important for coming exam, guys. Okay. Yes. UNFCCC is the over. Next convention, Convention on Biological Diversity. Next convention, Convention on Biological Diversity. So, what is this? What is this? Yeah. It is adopted in Earth Summit June 5 Environmental Day. Okay. So, it is actually came into force. They might not ask you came into force parties and all. This is Secretariat. They can ask you Montreal, Canada. It is legally binding international treaty. Okay. Yeah. Convention on Biological Diversity. The beautiful pic. Okay. Yeah. Objectives of the convention, this convention: conservation of biological diversity, sustainable use of components of biodiversity, fair and equitable sharing of benefits from genetical resources. Okay, yes, these are the objectives, guys. Yeah, protocols on this convention, two protocols made it. Okay, what is that? Cartagena Protocol, biosafety, on biosafety, Cartagena Protocol in 2000, Cartagena Protocol, okay, in biosafety. Cartagena Protocol especially for living modified organisms, You know, you come across, there is a BT cotton, that is modified their gene, okay, BT brinjal, okay, that is also modified gene, okay. They produced more amount of production by the changes of their genetical codes, okay. Yes, it is about, actually we have to be focused on safe handling, transport and use of living modified organisms, GMO or LMO, living modified organisms or LMO, genetically modified organism, GMO, any kind they can ask you, guys. Principle, it is a precautionary principle, restrict GMO uncertain about risk. If they ask the question, they don't ask you deep, okay, what are the changes, what are the genes, what are the genetic code, they don't ask you. They can ask you, what is Cartagena Protocol? This is simply say, living modified organism. It is about living modified organisms, or there is a genetical modified organisms. Okay, just it is enough. It is enough. You have to remember. Okay, yeah. Nagoya Protocol. Next protocol is Nagoya Protocol and access and benefit sharing. Okay, access and benefit sharing, fair sharing of benefits arising from use of genetic resources. This is the genetic resources, all kind of plants, animals and all. Okay, it is the pharmaceutical companies using plants for drug research must be share benefits with the resources country, sources country. Okay, Nagoya Kuala Lumpur Supplementary Protocol is there 2010, force in 2018. It is liability and redress a damage of biodiversity from living modified organisms. Guys, Nagoya Protocol about fair and equitable share of the resources mean if there any forest is there in the Amazon forest, the developed countries, if they that is the nature, they delivered the Amazon forest, right? This is on the earth. Okay, so developed countries are, they don't use much. There is a equitable sharing for any genetic resources. Okay, if any tiger, Asiatic lions or tigers are there. Okay, this is the tigers is a nation, it is the property of not only particular country, it is the property of this all over Asian countries. Okay, this is about, says about Nagoya Protocol. Nagoya Protocol, fair and equitable share of the genetical resources. Cartagena Protocol says about living modified organisms. These are two are about biodiversity, right? So these two protocols are, they delivered from the convention, Biological Diversity Convention. Okay, I hope you guys understand this. Okay, take a screenshot. Take a screenshot, guys. Okay, next. Next, I hope you understand this. Next, this is Cartagena Protocol. Cartagena Protocol is living modified organisms. This is the gene, DNA. This is DNA. Okay, genetic code. If any changes the code in the DNA, there is a changes in the species, okay, either plant or animal. Handling and transport use of living modified organisms, which aims to ensure the safe handling, transport of, you have to remember this, ensure the safe handling and transport use of living modified organisms. Okay, that is about Cartagena Protocol, which is adopted in 2000. Nagoya Protocol adopted in 2010. Okay, under Convention on Biological Diversity is the convention. Okay, Kunming Montreal Protocol framework 2022. This is also important, which is adopted in COP 15. Guys, Conference of Parties actually there for the environment pollution is UNFCCC convention is different. UNFCCC, that is Conference of Parties, is different. Convention on Biological Diversity, this is the Conference of Parties different. Okay, this is the Conference of Parties 15, but that is the Conference of Parties up to the 29. Okay, that is for climate change Conference of Parties. This is Conference of Parties for the biological diversity. Okay, yes, the adopted in Conference of Parties 15 in 2022, it is known as Paris Agreement Nature. Okay, targeted 30 into 30x, 30x into 30x, sorry, 30 into 30, 30 into 30 most important. They can ask you what is 30 into 30. What protocol says 30-30? That is Kunming Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework GBF 2022. 30-30 mean to protect 30 land oceans by 2030. To protect 30% land and 30% ocean by 2030. This is about 30 into 30 in the Kunming Protocol. They can ask you 30 into 30 is what, or else they can ask you 30 into 30 is comes under which protocol? Kunming Protocol 30 into 30. 30 into 30 mean 30% land, 30% water to protect by the 2030. Okay? Yes. Okay? Yeah. Restore 30% degraded ecosystem, reduce pesticide risk by 50%. Reduce pesticide risk is 50%. Okay? Yeah. Eliminate sustainable harmful biodiversity by $500 billion for year. Okay? Mobilize 200 billion for year is biodiversity fund. These are all most important for Kunming Protocol, guys. Okay? Yes. Next, India initiative in Convention on Biological Diversity. What are the initiatives? India ratified in 1994. That convention is took place 1992 Rio Earth Summit. After 2 years, India ratified. Okay? Yes. Biological Diversity Act 2002. India took Biological Diversity Act and Convention on Biological Diversity. India taken a Act 2002 Convention on Biological Diversity. India national law implemented National Biodiversity Authority Chennai. They can ask you in the exam, National Biodiversity Authority NBA located in which city? Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, Hyderabad. Okay, it is Chennai. Okay, yeah. People biodiversity register in village level. Okay, National Biodiversity Action Plan, Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Okay, yeah. Ecosystem sensitive zones, biosphere reserves and Project Tiger, Project Elephant took place on the Convention on Biological Diversity. Okay, yes. I hope you guys understand this. Okay, yeah. Current events relevant Convention on Biological Diversity. COP 15 Montreal 2022 adoption Kunming Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework. COP 16 most important recent one. Cali, Colombia, okay, is upcoming, mean it is actually done. Expected to review progress on global biodiversity framework implementation. India launched Mission Life, lifestyle for environment aligning with Convention on Biological Diversity. UNEP, United Nations Environmental Program report actually warned that biodiversity loss is the one of the triple planetary crisis. Triple planetary crisis is what? Who delivered it? UNEP, United Nations Environmental Program report that says triple planetary crisis, that is the loss of biodiversity. Mean triple crisis is what? Climate change is one, pollution is one, biodiversity loss is one. Climate change, pollution and biodiversity. They can ask you triple planetary crisis, what are the triple? What are the triple? They can ask you this, or they can give you another names also. Climate change, pollution and biodiversity loss. They can ask you heat development, they can ask you global warming, they can ask you greenhouse effect. Global warming, greenhouse effect, there is a biodiversity effect. Like that they can give you any three. Triple effect is not all. Climate change is one, pollution is one, biodiversity loss is one. Okay, is triple planetary crisis which is delivered in 2023 United Nations Environmental Program. Okay, yes. I hope you guys understand this. Okay, yeah. Fact for the exams: Rio Summit 1992 Convention on Biological Diversity (CBD) developed. Okay, yeah. Under CBD, there is a two protocol, Cartagena Protocol 2000, Nagoya Protocol 2010, Nagoya Kuala Lumpur Supplementary 2010. There is a Aichi targets also produced. Aichi targets also produced on the CBD. Okay, Aichi targets are produced under the CBD. Okay, yes. India Biological Diversity Act, National Biodiversity Action Plan in Chennai. Okay, Chennai. Okay, I hope you guys understand this. Take a screenshot of this same as it is. Okay, yeah. So, Rio Earth Summit after 10 years, Rio Earth after 10 years, after 1992, there is a 2002 Johannesburg, South Africa, and Rio 20, also 2012, there is again Rio de Janeiro. The future we want. The future we want. This is important. Rio 2012, the main aim is the future we want. Okay, that is theme. That is theme for sustainable development goals they produce. The future we want is the theme in Rio 2012, that is developed 17 sustainable development goals. In this future we want, how we get, that is 17 targets took place from the future we want, that is sustainable development goals. Okay, yes, yeah. Current development in 2023 to 2025, they might ask you guys, they might ask you current event in 2023 to 2025. First, global stack under Paris Agreement. Okay, yeah, agreement to transition away from the fossil fuels, triple renewable energy by 2030. This is important. COP 29, Baku, Azerbaijan 2024. Okay, COP 16, Colombia 2024. Just look into here the difference, COP 29 and COP 16. Two COPs, two conference of parties. Okay, but this conference of party is climate change. Climate change. UNFCCC. UNFCCC Climate Change Conference of Parties, Conference of Party 29 took place Baku, Azerbaijan in last year. Okay, yeah. Conference of Party CBD, Convention on Biological Diversity. This is took place Colombia. Colombia is the one of the middle American country, that is Latin American country, Colombia. Okay, yeah, that is framework about 30 into 30. That is framework about 30 into 30 to protect our climate and like there is a pollution, okay, and biodiversity. Climate, pollution and biodiversity, these triple. Okay, so this is the framework 30 into 30 to protect 30% land, to protect 30% land and sea by 2030, by 2030, 30 into 30. Okay, 30% of land, 30% of water by 2030 we have to protect. That is about Kunming-Montreal Protocol in Convention of Biodiversity, Colombia 2024 COP 16. Okay, United Nations, this is Conference of Conventional Diversity, which is COP 16, Saudi Arabia 2024 is coming guys. Expected discussion, land degradation, neutrality and drought reliance. India role, India took a life mission, lifestyle for environment, launched in 2021. Okay, yeah. India net zero is 2070. This is guys most important, take a screenshot. Okay, one moment. Yeah, next. These are the exam quick points, guys. Earth Summit 1992, Agenda 21, Blueprint for the Sustainable Development, 3 conventions, UNFCCC, CBD, UNCCD in Earth Summit, Kyoto Protocol 1997, Paris Agreement 2015 and Rio Earth Summit 2012. Okay, 2012, the precursor of Sustainable Development Goal 2015, Kunming Montreal Protocol Framework 2022, Global Biodiversity. Okay, this is important for a quick point, guys. Sustainable Development Goals. Next, we complete Earth Summit, completely Earth Summit. Okay, Earth Summit, there are protocols and conventions. Conventions 3, that is UNFCCC, CBD, Agenda 21. Protocols under UNFCCC protocol is Kyoto Protocol and Paris Agreement. And if come to the CBD, Convention on Biological Diversity, there are 2 protocols, Cartagena Protocol, Nagoya Protocol. We did complete it. Okay? Yes, I hope you guys clear. Now, it is now next convention is Agenda 21, what they targeted. In Rio 2012, there is a 17 goals, that is Sustainable Development Goals. Guys, you must remember Sustainable Development Goals, 17 goals. There is a question from the exam, guys. Okay? Yes. Okay? Yeah. Sustainable Development Goals adopted by United Nations General Assembly, UNGA 2015. Okay? This is agenda for 2030. Okay? Global goals, 17 goals, 169 targets, 17 goals, 169 targets, 232 indicators. Okay? 17 goals, 169 target, 232 indicators. Okay? It is implemented period from 2016 to 2030, 15 years. That is replaced by Millennium Development Goals 20 to 2015, Millennium Development Goals 2000 to 2010, 2000 to 2010, not 15. That is 10 years, 1 decade Millennium Development Goals took place, that is replaced by Sustainable Development Goals. Okay? What are the Sustainable Development Goals? We are going to discuss now. Just look into this, clean observe this. These are the goals we are going to discuss. Just observe it. Okay? Yep. Just 1 minute, observe it. We are going to discuss now. Okay? Yes. Guys, these are the goals. Just look into here. First goal is no poverty. No poverty. They can give you poverty elimination, such things. Okay? There is nothing. It is simple, say no poverty. No poverty. First goal. Second goal is zero hunger. Previously in the Millennium Development Goals, reduce the hunger. Reduce the hunger in the Millennium Development Goals. But if come to the Sustainable Development Goals, zero hunger. But is it zero hunger still? India 30% population, still there is a hunger. They can eat 1 time a day. Okay? In India 32% people still they are eating 1 time a day. There are many generals. Okay? Yeah. Guys, good health and wellness, as you know how hospitals corporatized still in India. Of course, it is the global targets, but India also included in that, right? Yeah. Good health and well-being. Third, okay. And fourth, quality education. Apart from other countries, China, America, developed countries, they are providing education free for all. Unlike India is the corporated. Okay. Yeah, it is a rich country. India is a rich country, corporated, everything. Because of India is the, like, it is not a social country. It is the mixed economy country. capitalist and socialist policies exist in India. But if come to the health and education, mostly capitalist, not socialist. Okay? Yes. Education and gender equality, as you know, the women role. Okay? Gender equality. Clean water and sanitation. Of course, if you go Gandhi Hospital, you know, clean sanitation. Okay? Yeah. Affordable and clean energy. Okay? Yeah. Decent work and economic growth. Decent work and economic growth. You know, our youth, what they are positioned in the Instagram. Okay? Industry, innovation, infrastructure. Of course, made in India, make in India. Did they give transition India? Okay? There is a semiconductor world in eastern countries like China, Taiwan, Japan, and information technology developed countries, western countries, where India, we can use that. That's it. Okay? There is a industry, innovation, infrastructure. Reduced inequalities globally. Sustainable cities and communication. Is it decentralized developed or re-centralized developed of cities in India? America, there are many capitals that did not develop. Other secondary grade cities are more developed than capitals. In India, all over the capital cities only developed. Okay? B-town cities are did not developed. This is not a decentralized in India. Re-centralized development took place in India. That is sustainable development communities. Responsible consumption and production. And climate action. Climate action, India is the better than other countries. Life below water, India is the better for other countries. Life on the land, this is also somewhat better India. Peace, justice and strong institutions, this is not enough. Partnership for the goals. These are the 17 goals, guys. Sustainable development goals. Okay? Yeah. Most important, you have to be remember each goal, and there are actually targets also there in each goals. Okay? Yes. We are going to discuss now. Okay? Let us start. Yep. First, no poverty. No poverty, zero hunger. No poverty, zero hunger. This guy waiting for food, guys. Sustainable development goal 2, zero hunger. Okay? Yes. No poverty. End poverty. End poverty in all its form everywhere. All its form everywhere. Where reduce extreme poverty like less than $2, less than $2 to implement social protection and systems. Of course, current COVID situation, okay, it is one that pushed millions back into the poverty. There are million people under poverty still. Okay? Yes. The goal 2, there is a zero hunger, end hunger, achieved food security. It is to achieve food security. Of course, India is a major country, provide food. Okay? Improve nutrition, promote sustainable agriculture. If it is agriculture is sustainable, there is a food security also good. Target, double agriculture productivity, end malnutrition. Okay? Yeah. It is current global hunger rising due to the climate shocks and conflicts. Okay? Yeah. These are the challenges and targets about first and 2. Okay? Sustainable development goals 1 and 2. There is targets, guys. Okay? Yes. Next goal. Good health and well-being is the third. Good health and well-being is the third goal. Okay? That is ensure healthy lives to promote well-being for all ages. What are the target? To reduce maternal and child mortality. Okay, India maternal mortality is how much? 97 for 1 lakh. For 1 lakh deliveries, 97 mothers are dying during the delivery. This is still prevailed in India. Okay? Okay? Child mortality 32. 32 childs are still die for 1000. For 1000 kids, for 1000 kids, 32 kids are still died in India. Okay, in India. They might ask you Indian based mostly. Okay, that's what I am telling about India. Well-being, health and well-being, good health and well-being, it fight epidemics, universal health coverage, that is rainbow, rainbow, rainbow. It is a vaccination scheme, guys, vaccination scheme. Okay, there are 7 health diseases are covered under this vaccine, guys. Okay, yeah. Current focus on pandemic preparedness, antimicrobial resistance. This is about good health and well-being. Fourth goal is quality education. Quality education. The education should be innovation. The education should be practical. The education should be application oriented for the nation. Okay. If the coastal country is huge, like a Denmark, there is a huge coastal universities, marine biotechnology, like that. India is the agriculture based country. Where is the mark of agriculture universities? Okay, this is the key. Okay, yeah. Ensure to inclusive and equitable quality education for lifelong learning opportunities, and targets free primary, secondary education and vocational skills, gender equality in education. Okay, yes. And fifth one, gender equality, gender equality. Okay, yeah. Achieve gender equality, empower all women and girls, empower all women and girls. Targets end discrimination, violence and early marriages, ensure the participation in leadership. India, women, how much they participation in elections or other economic activities. Okay, yeah. Current, still the major gender pay gaps, low representation from the women. Okay, yeah. Sixth goal, clean water and sanitation, clean water and sanitation. Ensure availability of sustainable management water and sanitation, universal access of safe drinking water and sanitation. This is the target. Guys, you have to mainly focus targets. Okay, they can ask you targets. Okay, yeah. Clean and water and sanitation target is what? Universal access to safe drinking water and sanitation. Safe drinking water and sanitation. Current 2 billion people lack of safe managed drinking water, 2023. Okay, yeah. 2 billion, guys. It is not a ordinary thing. Okay, yeah. Affordable clean energy is the 7th goal. Target is what? Increase renewable energy share, the energy efficiency. Okay, yeah. Push solar, EVs, hydrogen, and India Solar, International Solar Alliance by initiative India itself. Okay, yeah. Ensure to increase the renewable energy and energy efficiency is the target of 7th affordable clean energy. Okay, yeah. And 8th goal, decent work and economic growth. Decent work and economic growth. That is, target is what? To reduce unemployment, eradicate forced labor and child labor. This is the target for 8th goal, decent work and economic growth. It is the current slowdown due to the inflation, conflict and automation. Okay, these are the 7th and 8th goal of sustainable development goals. Okay, yes, guys, yeah, okay, 7th and 8th. And 9th and 10th, industry innovation infrastructure, industry infrastructure innovation. Target is what? Target to increase research and development spending and support small industries. Current situation is artificial intelligence, biotech and digital infrastructure, the key growth areas. Okay, yes. 9th goal is industry innovation infrastructure, triple I. Okay, I3. 9th goal is I3, innovation infrastructure and industry innovation infrastructure. This is increased R&D spending, support small industries. Okay, yeah. 10th goal, reduce inequalities. Reduce inequalities is the 10th goal, guys. Reduce inequalities. Okay, yeah. What are the targets? Social, economic and political inclusion for all. Social, economic, political inclusion for all. Of course, that is a big challenge India like countries, emerging countries, because of political agenda is inequality. Okay, yeah. Like social, economic and political inclusion for all. Okay, this is the target of reduce inequalities, the goal 10th of sustainable development goal. The gap between rich and poor countries are widening after COVID-19. Everything is reason for COVID-19, they are saying, right? It is not good. Yeah. 11th goal, sustainable cities and communities. Sustainable cities and communities. It is make inclusive, safe and resilient, sustainable. Target is affordable housing, okay, public transport and waste management. Okay, this is the 11th sustainable development goal. The target is what? Affordable housing, public transport and waste management. You can go through the city bus, public transport and waste management and affordable housing. Okay, yeah. Still there is a slum in India. Of course, the current is smart cities projects and climate resilient urban planning. Okay, yes. This is about sustainable cities and communities is the 11th goal, the target affordable housing, public transport and waste management. Okay, yeah. 12th goal is responsible consumption and production. Responsible consumption and production. The target is efficient use of resources and reduce food waste. Okay, yeah. Efficient use of resources, reduce food waste. This is the target of 12th sustainable development goal, where the responsible consumption and production. Okay, yes. It is right now the current situation, circular economy, single use of plastic ban. Is it plastic? Plastic is banned. Okay, yeah, you know very well, right? Yes. Yeah, even some areas, even tea, very hot tea, they are providing in the covers, plastic covers. Guys, just think, if you use plastic, that is relevant to the your intestine cancer. Okay, yeah, plastic is very dangerous. Next, after age 50, you might not absorb your food where you eat. Okay, absorption going to took place in the intestine, where it is converted into the energy. That should be effect if you eat in the plastic. Okay, yeah. Goal 13, climate action. The target of goal 13 is integrate climate measures into the policies, the strengthen the resilience. Climate action, COP 15, conference of parties, where there is a Paris agreement under Kyoto Protocol, under UNFCCC. Okay, yeah. Climate action. Okay, yeah. COP 28 Dubai, that is transition away from fossil fuel. Of course, Dubai is the city capital of the fossil fuels, where we are taking the petrol and diesel, bio like gases and all. That is the fossil fuel, right? But this summit is took place in the Dubai, where it is the transition away from the fossil fuel. Just look into this, how funny. Okay, yeah. And life below water is the goal 14. Life below water is the goal 14. Target is to reduce, maintain pollution, protect ecosystem and fishing. Okay, yeah, of course, life below water mean, guys, earth is 29%, water is 71%. Earth is 29, water is 71%. More life is there on the earth or water. More life is there under water. Okay, there are diversified species are located in the water itself. More there is a like 10 times multiple species are there on the like water, guys. Just look into this, water is life under water. This goal is important than life on the earth. Okay, life on the earth is the 15th goal, life under water is the 14th goal. 14th goal is greater than 15th goal, guys. Okay, irrespective of your human being, forget it. This is life below water is the most important climate action of the sustainable development goal. Reduce marine pollution, protect ecosystem, fishing. Life below water is the 14th goal. Current situation, UN High Seas Treaty is there 2023, that is protect of ocean biodiversity. Okay, I hope you guys understand. Life below water is 14th goal, life on the land is the 15th goal. Life on the land is the 15th goal, land is 29% only. Okay, target is halt deforestation. This is main. Desertification, deforestation leads to the desertification. Biodiversity loss, obviously they are interlinked together. Deforestation, desertification, biodiversity loss. Okay, yes. The current event where Kunming Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework took place in 2022, the target 30 into 30 to protect water, seas and land 30% by 2030. Okay, that is the goal, life on the earth. Sustainable goal 15. Sustainable goal 16, peace, justice and strong institutions. Peace, justice and strong institutions. To promote peaceful, inclusive societies, to provide access justice. Okay, there are millions of cases in under courts because of high targeted situations like cases. Target is reduce violence, combat corruption, ensure the living standards. Conflict, Ukraine and Middle East challenges are the major for the goal for sustainable development goal 16. Peace, justice, strong institutions, guys. Okay, yep. And 17, partnership for the goals. 17 is the partnership for goals. Okay, we have to goal all goals, but we need partnership for all developing countries. Target is finance and trade, technology transfer, data and multi-stakeholders partnerships. Okay, these are the 17 sustainable development goals most important for coming exam, guys. Okay, I hope you guys understood. Okay, I hope you guys all over took a take a screenshot. Okay, yeah. Guys, important linked goals, sustainable goals are integrated, progress in one and affect others. Monitoring, it is high level political form. Sustainable development reviews progress also need. India performance, Niti Aayog India took place. Okay, yeah. Niti Aayog sustainable development goals are there in India, that is also most important. India initiative, we have to target our own goals by Niti Aayog. Okay, yeah. You have to come across Niti Aayog sustainable development goals. India mostly achieved countries, Kerala, Himachal Pradesh, Tamil Nadu usually top list India sustainable development goals by Niti Aayog. India achieved the progress renewable energy, sanitation, digital infrastructure. Okay, this is progressed India in these three areas, guys. Okay, current event UN report 2023, it aim midpoint 2015 to 2030, that is only 15% of targets we track. India G20 presidency India took place. India G20 group of 20, there is a summit took place in India, that is promoted Green Development Pact for which is sustainable development goals relevant. Okay, yeah, I hope you guys take a screenshot and read it. This is very easy, okay, to understand. Okay, Vienna Convention, this is a different convention. This is the different convention. Okay, for ozone depletion, for the ozone depletion, Vienna Convention. Okay, Vienna is the place in like Canada, came into force. It is adopted 1985. sorry, Austria guys, Vienna, Austria, Europe, sorry. Yeah, it is about forced in 1988, 190 countries universal ratification. Okay, it is protect human health, environment for the ozone depletion guys. This is the key word. Vienna Convention is for the ozone depletion. Where there is a convention, associated protocol is there, right? Under Vienna Convention, there is a protocol called Montreal Protocol. Okay, yes, Montreal Protocol. Montreal Protocol adopted 1987. Vienna Convention is 1985. After 2 years, there is a protocol, Montreal Protocol. This is Canada. This is Canada. Vienna is the Austria. This is Canada. Montreal is the Canada. Of course, 198 universal parties, and object is ozone depletion. Ozone depletion substances. Okay, yeah. It is legal binding protocol. They can ask you Vienna Convention or Montreal Protocol relevant to the climate change, biodiversity and sustainable development goals or ozone depletion. It is ozone depletion, enough. No need go for anything more about it. Okay, yep. Quick fact, Vienna Convention 1985, Montreal Protocol 1987. Okay, Kigali Agreement relevant to the Vienna ozone, that is took place in 2016. India ratified Vienna 1991, Montreal 1992, Kigali 2021. Okay, ozone hole is expected to closely mid late to the 21st century. That is remain question. Okay, yeah, guys, these are the MCQs they did ask previous year. So we have to be focused on this MCQs. Okay, most important MCQs I did take, guys. Okay, yes. Okay, yeah. Earth Summit 1992 related to the concept of common but differentiate responsibilities was first formally articulated which international environmental treaty? Earth Summit, right? Earth Summit. This is the related to the Earth Summit question. Okay, take a screenshot, guys. Which of the following were outcomes of the Earth Summit? Agenda 21, UNFCCC, okay, Convention on Biodiversity. Only 3, not Kyoto Protocol, not Kyoto Protocol. Kyoto Protocol under UNFCCC, not Earth Summit. Okay, yes. This is UPSC question 2016. Which of the following statement are correct regarding Paris Agreement 2015? Okay, yeah. So 2015 agreement is what? The Paris Agreement aims to limit global average temperature below 2. Okay, below 2 obviously. Above pre-industrial level, of course, this is right. The agreement is legally binding on all parties. Uniform emission, not uniform, guys. It is the differentiate in each country. Differentiate in each country, because of India raise voice for this only. India raise voice for this only. There is no uniformity for reduction. There is a differentiate. Developed countries is they can reduction target is high. Developing countries moderate, and least developed countries are less target. Okay, yeah, and that is not uniform. The agreement of required developed countries to provide financial and technical support. Of course, developed countries has more responsibility about it. So 1 and 3 correct. 1 and 3 correct. Okay. 1 true, 2 wrong, and 3 true. Yes, 1 and 3 correct. Yeah. Kyoto Protocol provide for the three market based mechanism, or what? Clean development mechanism, joint implementation is there. Okay, and emission trading, of course 3, 1 and 2, 3. This is important. Clean development mechanism, emission trading, and joint implementation. Guys, these MCQs where I supposed to be made most important. Okay, don't skip it. Okay, yes. In the context of climate change negotiations, the term loss and damage fund was first agreed in which conference of parties? Conference of parties 27, Sharm-e Sheikh, that is actually there is a Azerbaijan, I think there is a country, Middle East, yeah, Egypt country, Egypt, okay. Loss and damage fund was agreed in to COP 27 Egypt, okay, yes. Convention on Biological Diversity, Kyoto Protocol is related to the, what is that? Genetical modified and like GMO or LMO, GMO, genetically modified organisms or living modified organisms, okay, yes. Yeah, UPSC 2014 prelims, with the reference due to the Convention on Biological Diversity, consider the following statement, okay, yeah. So, what is that? It as the protocol deals with the safe use of the biotechnology, of course, safe handling, okay. Yeah, it is legally binding for all signatory negotiations, of course. US is the part to the convention. No, yeah, US is not part of the convention, okay, yes. 30 × 30 target, most important, 30% of land and 30% of ocean per 2030 was adopted under which framework? Okay. Kunming Montreal Global Diversity, okay, Kunming Montreal Global Diversity Framework 2022, okay, yes. UPSC prelims 2016, with reference to the United Nations Convention on Combat Desertification, consider the following statement, okay, yes. It was adopted Rio Earth Summit, not desertification guys, only 3 conventions. It is the only legally binding international agreement linking environment and development, sustainable land management. Of course, this is the right, only second one is right guys. It is adopted Paris, not Rio, in 1994, okay, yes. UPSC, Vienna Convention and Montreal Protocol. About this, Montreal Protocol, which of the following statement are true? It is an international treaty protect ozone layer. Of course, it is about ozone layer. It is legally binding, of course. It has universal ratification, of course, okay, all of the above is the right. Which of the following gases were controlled for the Montreal Protocol? Chlorofluorocarbons, hydrochlorofluorocarbons, hydrofluorocarbons, alones. Just think, not hydrofluorocarbons, not HFCs. HFCs for Kyoto Protocols, hydrofluorocarbons for Kyoto Protocol. This is important guys. HFCs is the Kyoto Protocol. Don't confuse Kyoto Protocol, not under Montreal. Kyoto Protocol under UNFCCC. UNFCCC. Montreal Protocol is Vienna Convention. These 3 are, except hydrofluorocarbons, remaining 3 are Montreal Protocol. This is the most important. Most of the people like they are not like confused in this question. Yeah. Kigali Agreement. Kigali is the African country related to the Kigali Agreement target HFCs, hydrofluorocarbons, not not ODS, okay. HSC and GHG, greenhouse gases. It is about climate change guys. It is about climate change. Yeah. UPSC question. The common carbon metric supported by UNEP, United Nations Environmental Program, is about, it is accessing carbon footprint to building operations. A is the right answer, okay. This kind of questions they might ask you guys in future. UPSC 2012, which of the following is not related to the United Nations? Earth Summit, Kyoto Protocol, Montreal Protocol, ASEAN is the not, okay, ASEAN is the regional forum, not universal. Key notes about Earth Summit, UNFCCC, CBD, UNCCD, Vienna and Montreal Protocol. Most important, you have to take a screenshot. Yeah, I hope you guys understand this class. This is enough if you read, okay. Just you have to get a concept from this topic, all our topics I made, okay. Thank you. If you like the video, like it and share it, guys, okay. Yep.